What is up, everyone? We are back, Miles TV. We are still doing an episodic review. We're going to go through the episodes and break down Worlds Beyond Number, the lion, the witch, the wizard, and the wild one. The wizard, the witch, and the wild one. But yeah, you get the idea. I did an episode 0 for their prelude episode. It very much pretty good starter episode. I think it was their version of an episode 0 that campaigns usually do. You know how like there's always a session 0. I think that's what they were going for, the vibe of setting up the world, which they did a really good job. It gives you an idea of what the world is like and where these characters came from. But now we are doing episode 1. Episode 1. The Wizard, the Witch, and the Wild One. I had it in my notes right there. The episode title is The Open Door. So, jumping right into it, we start off in a tavern where we meet Eursulon. He's an adult now. He's they're in this tavern. He's listening to this old man tell this story about spirits in the world, how this world was created from another one. And there's these beings called wild ones that are basically spirits. Seems like Eursulon is working for this tavern. He is like somebody calls him over to come handle something or go maintain the horses. He talks to this girl a little bit and he calms down this horse. And then this man walks up and he's like, I know what you are. And wants to capture Eursulon. This is where we find out that Eursulon was wearing a glamour. And we know from episode 0 that he was a wild one. He was a spirit, an honored friend, or whatever you want to call them in this campaign. But he is from the spirit world. He was looking like a human before, tall, dark human man. He drops his glamour. And the best thing that I could describe Eursulon as is a bugbear mixed with a Furbolg. And Eursulon immediately runs. Eursulon is able to get away, but he gets hit by, I think, a magic missile or something. And then they skip forward 5 years. 5 years. We cut over to the Citadel. This is where Suvi is. The Citadel at first look seems like a very warring city. You hear all these soldiers marching in from war. They're celebrating everybody coming back, and just feels like a war city, a war kingdom. They're having a parade for these soldiers, and Suvi's with this old wizard, and she wakes him up, and he's supposed to be like welcoming the heroes home. Suvi's bored with the Citadel. She wants to get out and go see the world. This is when we get introduced to Steel, another person we saw in episode 0. Steel is kind of like Suvi's mom in this perspective. Suvi's mom never came back from her last mission that she was on with Jorn, Steel, and I forget Suvi's dad's name. But Steel was the only one to come back. Jorn's missing. Her parents are gone. Steel kind of walks up to her and is like, hey, this is like the second time I've given you bad news about somebody's dying. We get word that Grandma Wren is dying. So if you listen to episode 0 and you listen to the Patreon episode, you know who Grandma Wren is. But Steel tells Suvi that Grandma Wren is dying, and she's gotten permission to leave the kingdom and go visit Grandma Wren in her final hours. So they set up this big teleporter thing for her to go and get there faster, basically. And they're doing this all while Suvi's talking. Next, we move to the cottage on the farm. We get to meet Ame. Apparently, Ame is around the same size as she was when she was a kid. She is giving console to a young couple trying to have a baby. And she starts to get like witchy, I forget what it's called, but invocations from the animals all around. She reaches for the animals, the bees, the bird, and try to get information from them. I think she ends up talking to the bees at one point. She finds out when they can conceive a child and what to do, and she finds out that like the male in the couple group is gonna be unfaithful. So I think she cursed him that if he ever does that, she gave him something and it would start burning. We'll just say that. Grandma Wren is real sick. You can tell like she knows she's about to go. Ame knows she's about to go. Ame's taking care of her, feeding her soup. She doesn't leave her room anymore. And that's usually the sign for like, you know, older people is like, okay, they stop eating, they stop leaving their room, they stop getting out of bed. Yeah, it's getting close. Suvi makes it to Grandma Wren in time, and her and Ame chat for a bit, you know, it's like catching up. And then Suvi goes in to talk to Grandma Wren. Grandma Wren's excited to see Suvi. Ame walks in and they start talking, and I think she brings up Eursulon for a little bit and it's like, hey, have you guys seen him? And they're like, nah, you know, he's an honored friend, he's a spirit, so he goes where he wants. And Grandma Wren's like, yeah, blah, blah, blah. And then Ame sees something and she tells Grandma Wren that she saw some smoke coming out of her mouth or something like that. Grandma Wren immediately goes into like witch mode. There's been a curse put on somebody. Suvi immediately tries to find something that's in the house. She starts looking around the house while Ame talks to Grandma Wren. Grandma Wren tells Ame that there's a sword in the attic called the Wavebreaker. Go get it. The curse can be broken with Wavebreaker. We find out that the sword was given to Eursulon. Grandma Wren gives Suvi and Ame some instructions about like what could possibly happen next, but they need to go find Wavebreaker because everything she's told Ame doesn't remember. And Wavebreaker can break that curse so she can get all her memories back and know what to do next. Grandma Wren passes. Brennan is so good at shifting tones. Because at first it was like happy-go-lucky. We're having fun with Grandma Wren. You know, she's passing, you know, a little sad. Then it gets so serious about this curse. And he's just so good at switching the tone of what's happening. And I don't know how he does that. Like, because you see Brennan, you hear Brennan talk, you're like, oh, he's a goofy guy. Then it gets real serious and you're like, okay. And it's just, he's so good at switching tones. And it's like, I wish I could do that. As Suvi looks out the window, she sees a figure walking up the road to the cottage. And that's where the episode ends. I said I was going to stop scoring the show because it's just so well done. It's so well written. It's so well played out by these people. Lou, Erica, Abria, Brennan. They all do like amazing jobs. So it's like, why should I? It's like watching your favorite movie actors do something, or listening to your favorite movie actors do something. You're not gonna not score them a 10 out of 10. Again, the only thing I don't like, but it is my opinion, is that I don't like long character introductions of like, all right, when are we gonna get these players together? But I can see why Brennan did that, because the story starts off being about Ame. We got to break Ame's curse. We got to give them a reason to go after Eursulon. Eursulon has the sword, so don't put Eursulon with them. It's a mission to go find Eursulon. It's just super cut and dry mechanics of D&D, but throw in some twist in there, and it's golden. I would say, and it's more or less how I recorded the episode. I didn't talk about them rolling dice. Need to put the stats in there from now on. But because the show is so good, listening to it, it makes you feel like it's not D&D, but they do roll a lot. They do. Brennan's just such a good improviser that it feels like it's on script. When you're good at improv or coming up or the cuff of your pants or whatever, it just feels like a script sometimes. But they are playing D&D. They are rolling numbers. There was one point where Brennan asked for something, and Lou was like, "You want the Wi-Fi password?" And then something happened, and he was like, "No, Brennan, you want the Wi-Fi password." it's just like that. It's just so good. 10 out of 10. There are a couple episodes I don't like, but it's just a couple. This is so good, and I highly recommend that you listen to it. If you like Brennan, you like Abria, you like Erica Ishii, you like Lou Wilson, all of them are good. If you like D&D, listen to it. Check it out. Episode 1, off to a great start. Worlds Beyond Number. They have a Patreon. They have a website. Go check them out. Support them. Also, support me, Miles TV. Like us on YouTube. We now have a Facebook. We have Threads. We have all social medias that you can think of. I will try to put them in my bio. I always wanted to be one of those guys who's like, the link is in my bio. But yeah, we're on everything. We're even on Tumblr. People don't even use Tumblr anymore, but we're on there. We do podcast reviews. We do anime reviews. I say we because sometimes I have people, but it's mostly me. We new season for anime coming up, so we're gonna have that. We're gonna Mythcraft will start back up, so we're gonna be reviewing that. Might do some Dungeons and Daddies. We're gonna do some Warlocks. Got some big plan. Just hang out with us. It's a slow building a channel by yourself, but hey, I'm here. If there's anything you guys want me to review, anything you guys want me to talk about, let me know. I'm here. I'm on all platforms, baby. But anyway, as always, thanks for tuning in to Miles TV. Bye.